Daily Dose of English presents Daily English Idioms. Part 42.
Seal the deal. Meaning: to reach an agreement or make a final decision. Examples: let's seal the deal and sign the contract. We sealed the deal and the project was a success. They sealed the deal and the deal was officially closed. Not for love or money. Meaning: something that you cannot get or do, no matter how hard you try or how much money you have. Examples: I can't find it not for love or money. He tried to get the tickets but couldn't get them not for love or money. She searched everywhere but couldn't find it not for love or money. Pull your weight. Meaning: to do your part of the work. Examples: you need to pull your weight if you want to be part of this team. Everyone needs to pull their weight in order to get the job done. You can't expect everyone else to do all the work. You need to pull your weight too. Shrug something off. Meaning: to ignore or dismiss something. Examples: he shrugged off the criticism and kept going. She shrugged off the comments and kept doing her own thing. He tried to shrug off the insults, but it was hard to ignore. Neither fish nor fowl. Meaning: something that is not one thing or the other. Examples: his personality was neither fish nor fowl, he was hard to figure out. The situation was neither fish nor fowl, it was hard to make a decision. The design was neither fish nor fowl and it was hard to classify it. Armchair traveler. Meaning: someone who travels vicariously by reading books or watching television. Examples: he was an armchair traveler and loved reading about distant lands. She was an armchair traveler and loved watching travel shows. He was an armchair traveler and loved to read about different cultures. Keep your fingers crossed. Meaning: to hope that something will turn out the way you want. Examples: I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I get the job. We're keeping our fingers crossed that everything will go smoothly. She's keeping her fingers crossed that she'll get the promotion. Know your onions. Meaning: to be knowledgeable about something. Examples: he knows his onions when it comes to cars. She knows her onions when it comes to investments. He knows his onions when it comes to computers. Out like a light. Meaning: to fall asleep very quickly. Examples: he was out like a light after the long day of traveling. She was out like a light after the stressful meeting. He was out like a light after the long hike. See light at the end of the tunnel. Meaning: to see hope in a difficult situation. Examples: we finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel after months of hard work. She saw the light at the end of the tunnel and persevered. He saw the light at the end of the tunnel and kept going. Tug at the heartstrings. Meaning: to evoke strong emotions. Examples: the story of their struggles really tugged at my heartstrings. The images of the suffering children tugged at her heartstrings. The song really tugged at his heartstrings. It's anyone's call. Meaning, it is impossible to say who will win or what will happen. Examples: it's anyone's call who will win the race. It's anyone's call who will get the promotion. It's anyone's call what the outcome of the vote will be. Bet your bottom dollar. Meaning, to be certain that something will happen. Examples: I'd bet my bottom dollar that he'll get the job. You can bet your bottom dollar that she'll be successful. I'd bet my bottom dollar that they'll win the game. Beyond repair. Meaning, too damaged to be fixed or repaired. Examples: the car was beyond repair after the accident. The laptop was beyond repair after it was dropped. The house was beyond repair after the fire. Make light of something. Meaning, to make something seem unimportant. Examples: he tried to make light of the situation, but it didn't help. She tried to make light of the mistake, but it was still embarrassing. He tried to make light of the situation, but it didn't make it any better. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Meaning, if you can't handle the pressure, you should give up. Examples: if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you can't stand the heat, it's better to quit now. If you can't stand the heat, you should find another job. Old dog for a hard road. Meaning, to have a lot of experience in a certain situation or field. Examples: he's an old dog for a hard road when it comes to politics. She's an old dog for a hard road when it comes to negotiations. He's an old dog for a hard road when it comes to investments. Nowhere to be found. Meaning, not able to be located. Examples: the missing key was nowhere to be found. The missing person was nowhere to be found. The missing documents were nowhere to be found. A shouting match. Meaning, a loud argument between two people. Examples: they got into a shouting match over who should pay for the meal. The two politicians got into a shouting match over their different opinions. The couple got into a shouting match over who was right. In the heat of the moment. Meaning, to do something without thinking or considering the consequences. Examples: he said something he later regretted in the heat of the moment. She acted without thinking in the heat of the moment. He made a decision in the heat of the moment that he later regretted. Out of your depth. Meaning, to be in a situation that is too difficult for you. Examples: he felt out of his depth when he started the new job. She felt out of her depth when she tried to solve the problem. He felt out of his depth when he took on the project. Today's idioms were: seal the deal. Not for love or money. Pull your weight. Shrug something off. Neither fish nor fowl. Armchair traveler. Keep your fingers crossed. Know your onions. See light at the end of the tunnel. Tug at the heartstrings. It's anyone's call. Bet your bottom dollar. Beyond repair. Make light of something. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Old dog for a hard road. Nowhere to be found. A shouting match. In the heat of the moment. Out of your depth.